So let's look at what we've got here. We have a 5-3 here, so not technically a suspension because a 5-3 suspension is not a thing, and it does not resolve like a suspension. It would have to resolve down. As a consonant suspension, it could resolve up if it was the right kind, but it's not. So it's not a suspension, it's just a tied note, and that's okay in fifth species counterpoint and free counterpoint because we would treat it just as a note with a duration of 3 beats, right? So now we have a third, 6, 7, and 8. Now this bar is really interesting because we have consonant, consonant, dissonant, consonant. So we've got a dissonant right on the halfway point, which according to Fuchs in fifth species counterpoint can be allowed in a scale pattern. So all kinds of weird little exceptions here. I would consider that to be dangerous. So I wouldn't do that if you were writing an assignment for a teacher. But, he wrote the book. He's allowed to do it. So now we have 3, 2, unison, 3. So dissonance on beat 2, that's allowed. Over here, 3, unison, octave, all consonants actually. Big consonants skip here. And then another suspension looking thing, but not technically a suspension. Even though it resolves down, we wouldn't call it a 5-4 suspension. That's not really a thing. Or 8-5 suspension. That's not a thing either. So the cantus firmus hasn't set us up to do a suspension, at least not with those notes. So a dissonance here on the second beat, and that's it. Okay, now let's keep going. So what he does next is we're going to go up to a B and then a C. And then he's going to tie that C over, and now he's going to do an F and tie that over. I'm going to go backwards and get those ties in a second. And we have some eighth notes popping up. Okay, oops. Let's go back and add all those ties that I skipped over. C, F, E, D, and D. Okay. Now let's look at what we've got here. So we have a third, F to A. On beat 2, we have a fourth. And beat 3, we have a fifth.